So, good morning, everyone. We are back again with another lecture of electromagnetic field theory. In previous lectures and in previous week, we had talked about the continuity equations and potentials, work done, and everything, isn't it? So, in today's lecture, we'll be talking the boundary conditions and how this electric field and electric field intensity and electric flux density behaves at the boundary. Okay, what type of boundary we'll see in the later part of this. So before that, again I'm suggesting you to watch the video lectures which are being uploaded on a daily basis on a periodic intervals. You are having the timetable with you. So please watch those video on the day when it is being uploaded. Okay. And yes, of course, I have seen your scores, what you have done in the assessment part. It is fine. It's okay. Okay. But scoring is fine, but understanding is more important. Okay. Doing exercise is more important, and studying is more important. If you are understanding the concept, you'll be able to apply that concept into the numerical as well as in the and other subjects. I mean, this is the subject, and the concept of this subject can directly be applied to the other subjects which are related to this. Okay, so my suggestion is to keep studying and keep watching the videos. Okay. So coming to this boundary conditions, so today we'll see. Okay, what are the boundary conditions? Why we are talking about this? So when electric field intensity, I mean we had talked about the types of material in our previous lectures. What type of materials it is? It is conductors, dielectrics, insulators, isn't it? So suppose we are having two different materials, okay, and we know this electric field intensity and electric flux density behaves differently for different type material. In fact, for conductor it behaves differently, and for dielectric it behaves differently. So suppose we are having two different materials, okay. What type of material? Suppose we are having a conductor and a dielectric. So definitely this conductor will have a certain limit. Okay. After that, the properties of this conductor will not be associated with that. Is it that will be the boundary? The line, the plane, the where this the properties of this conductor possesses at that point, that is the conductor. After that, this another materials or another what's the materials starts. So for example, what we are having, a conductor and a dielectric, say a free space, yes, of course air is a dielectric, free space is also a dielectric, isn't it? So suppose हमारे पास एक कंडक्टर है और एक फ्री स्पेस है, वो कंडक्टर किसी फ्री स्पेस में रखा हुआ है. सो वी विल बी हैविंग कंडक्टर, जहां तक उस कंडक्टर की प्रॉपर्टीज उस कंडक्टर के साथ होंगी, और एक पॉइंट ऐसा आएगा जहां पर वो कंडक्टर की सारी प्रॉपर्टीज खत्म हो रही होंगी और एयर की सारी फ्री स्पेस की सारी प्रॉपर्टीज स्टार्ट हो रही होंगी, isn't it? सो वो थिन लाइन, वो बाउंड्री जहां पर इन दोनों पे ये एयर फ्री स्पेस स्टार्ट हो रहा होता है और कंडक्टर खत्म हो रहा होता है, उस पॉइंट पर E, that is electric field intensity, and D, electric flux density. How these two parameter behaves, these conditions, these are known as boundary conditions. When electric field intensity and flux density passes through different mediums, it behaves differently, and the conditions of that boundary is known as boundary condition. Okay. Okay, so we'll see two types of boundary conditions here. We'll take a dielectric and a conductor. The boundary condition between conductor and a free space. Free space is a dielectric, isn't it? We can have any dielectric uh, in the we can take any dielectric, no issue. So boundary between conductor and a free space. Okay, I'm taking free space as my dielectric. And another will see if we are having two different dielectrics, say wax and free space, or wax and water, or cotton and paper. We can take two different dielectrics. Okay, so the important thing which we should keep in our mind is that we'll be using two law. Okay, that is, the first one was the Gauss law, which is the surface integral of flux density is equal to the charge, that is surface integral of d dot ds is equal to q. This is my Gauss law, isn't it? And the another was line integral of E dot dl is equal to 0. ये भी हमने पहले केसेस में आपको एक्सरसाइज वाले पार्टी की हमने देखी थी, ठीक है? Now, so it is E dot dl is equal to 0. We'll use these two laws to determine the boundary conditions which we had discussed above, isn't it? So we will see if we will divide these electric field intensity into two parts, tangential and normal, and the sum of these two, tangential and normal, will give me the total electric field intensity. Similarly, we'll divide the flux density into two parts. Of course, these two are the vector. So we'll divide D also in its tangential and its normal component, and the sum of those tangential and normal component of D will give me the total flux density at the boundary. Isn't it? So what we are doing will see the boundary between conductor and free space. Okay, the boundary condition between conductor and free space. So we'll keep some points in our mind. What the properties? What properties? The properties of a conductor and the properties of a dielectric, such as the field intensity inside a conductor is 0, isn't it? फ्लक्स डेंसिटी इनसाइड अ कंडक्टर इज जीरो. हमने ये लास्ट टाइम देखा था कि कंडक्टर के अंदर कोई भी चार्ज नहीं होता है, isn't it? अंदर नहीं होता, सारा कलर किस पे होता है? उसकी सरफेस पे. इनसाइड अ कंडक्टर नो चार्ज एग्जिस्ट. See, no charge exists within the conductor. It appears at the surface in the form of surface charge density, isn't it? Within the conductor, charge density is 0. सारा का सारा चार्ज कहाँ होगा? उसकी सरफेस पे. ठीक. So on a bottom line, electric field intensity, flux density, and volume charge density inside the conductor is 0. Only surface charge density that will lie on the surface of a conductor. We'll keep these 2-3 points in our mind and determine our boundary condition. So let's take these two. Let's take this diagram and analyze it. So we are having a conductor and a free space. As you can see in the slide that we are having a conductor, the down part, and the free space which is the upper part. Okay, and we are interested to know its flux density D and field intensity E. Okay, fine. So one by one will determine. And do you remember? No, we are having a relation between D and E. What was that? D is equal to epsilon E. And here we are talking about the free space, so it will be epsilon not E. Epsilon relative permittivity will be 1. Okay? Will we use that formula? We'll be using that formula also. Okay. So, uh, we have already discussed that we'll be using two or the formula Gauss law and E dot dl surface line integral of E dot dl is equal to 0, that formula, isn't it? So E, remember this diagram. Okay, so what we'll see, we'll be taking, first we'll determine E. Okay, one by one we'll be determining E. So what we'll do, we'll take this uh, this rectangle ABCD, okay, which is having a width del W and height del H. Okay, so we'll divide this A, B, B2, C will be dividing it into two parts, B to 2 and 2 to C. Why? Because this comes, this point 2 comes at the boundary. Similarly, D to A will divide in two parts, D to 1 and 1 to A, because this comes into the boundary. Okay. So with this, will be using line integral of E dot dl is equal to 0. That means the total E from this diagram, see this, from A to A, that is A to B, B to C, C to D, D to A. So we'll be using the line integral of E dot dl is equal to 0 for different line integral. Line integral from A to B, then B to 2, 2 to C, C to D, D to 1 and 1 to A. Okay, complete line integral. Fine. So in this, C. So similarly, we can divide this, this as I have already discussed, that line integral of E dot dl is A to B plus B to C plus C to D plus D to A is equal to 0. And we can divide this B to C into D to 2 and 2 to C. Similarly, D to A can be divided into D to 1 and 1 to A. Fine. So, from this diagram, it is evident that the line integral of the line integral from C to D, isn't it? Line integral from C to D, E dot dl, that will be 0. Why? Why? I'm saying the line integral between, from here you can see the third term. Line integral C to D will be 0. Why? Because, you remember that point? Here, the field, first point, the field intensity inside a conductor is 0. Inside a conductor, no electric field intensity. That's why E is 0. So that's why this integral becomes 0. We'll be having only three terms, A to B, B to C and D to A. We'll be dividing this into two parts as I've already discussed that A to B. Okay, let's take one by one. A to B line integral, and what is the length del W, isn't it? So it is a very small integral A to B dl, so we can write it E into del W, isn't it? And what is this? Which component of E? It is the tangential component of E along the direction of A to B. That's why we have taken E tan, tangential component. Fine. Similarly, B to C. B to C. So B to C we can divide into two parts. Okay. So B to C we can divide into two parts, which is C. The height is inside after 2 to C, that the electric field intensity will be 0. Will only get the electric field component part from B to 2, and the height will be del h by 2. सिर्फ आधी हाइट के लिए आपको इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंटेंसिटी मिलेगी, और जैसे ही वो इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंटेंसिटी कंडक्टर के अंदर आएगी वो जीरो हो जाएगी. सो उसका कौन सा कंपोनेंट है, उसका टेंजेंशियल या नॉर्मल, उसका नॉर्मल कंपोनेंट, isn't it? सिमिलरली जब हम इसमें देखेंगे किसके लिए, 1 टू ए के लिए, ऑफ कोर्स डी टू 1 के लिए 0 हो जाएगा क्योंकि वहां पर कोई इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंटेंसिटी नहीं हो सकता. Then after that when we'll see from for 1 to A, then also the will get for the half of the height, that is del h by 2, and but the direction will be your opposite. What for I mean the direction will be opposite of what we get for B to 2, isn't it? So just substitute all those things what we have calculated here, and we'll see those terms will get cancelled out. Normal component del h by 2 minus normal component of E into del h by 2, these two will be cancelled out, and we'll get the E tan, tangential component, and del into del W is equal to 0. Del W, of course, we know that it is not it is a non-zero quantity. It cannot be 0. That means E tan is equal to 0. The tangential component of electric field intensity is 0. Fine. So, for a boundary at the boundary between conductor and a free space, the tangential component at the boundary is 0. The tangential component of a electric field intensity at the boundary is 0. So we, of course, we had discussed this formula, d tan is equal to epsilon naught E tan. So d is equal to epsilon E. When E tan is 0, then d tan also be 0. Fine, no? So E tan and d tan, electric field tangential component of electric field intensity and tangential component of electric flux density is 0. Fine. Now coming to D part. Okay, coming to D part. D at the boundary. D, that means electric flux density. So for that we'll be using Gauss law. Take this. We are taking a Gaussian surface. It's a closed surface. We are having a regular cylinder for this. So for that, what we will do, we'll take the surface integral of it, and for that if we are having a regular right circular cylinder, total three type of surfaces which is to be covered. एक सिलेंडर की आपको तीन सरफेसेस होंगी जिसको कवर करना होगा. व्हाट आर दो सरफेसेस? नंबर वन, टॉप, बॉटम और उसकी लेटरल सरफेस. सपोज यू आर हैविंग अ सिलेंडर एंड फॉर दैट सिलेंडर क्या कौन कौन सी सरफेसेस आपको कवर करनी होगी? फ्लक्स कहाँ कहाँ से बाहर आ सकती है आपकी? टॉप से, बॉटम से और उसकी लेटरल सरफेस से. और कोई ऑप्शन है क्या? नहीं. सो as per Gauss law, surface integral of d dot ds is equal to q. So that this surface integral will be divided into three parts: top, bottom, and lateral surface. Fine. So from top we'll see, okay, top, bottom, and lateral surface. We will see that what we'll see again a normal component and tangential component. Okay. So we are interested to find out this surface integral d dot ds is equal to q for three different surfaces, and we are interested at the boundary. So the del h height will, we have to reduce this height to 0 to get this cylinder for this boundary. हमें इस सिलेंडर को पूरा हाइट 0 करनी पड़ेगी, तब तो आपका जो d का कंपोनेंट, एक डी का कंपोनेंट आपका टॉप और बॉटम से निकल सकता है. लेटरल सरफेस से हमें इसको 0 करना पड़ेगा, तब हम बाउंड्री पे निकाल सकेंगे. इजंट इट? तो लेटरल सरफेस में जैसे ही हम सिलेंडर की लेटरल सरफेस कैसे निकालते हो आप उसका एरिया? 2 पाई आर एच. When you are reducing the height to 0, so that surface area will become 0. Hence, no flux will come. I mean, the surface area will become 0. So there will be no flux coming out at this point from lateral surface. Okay. So we'll be getting surface integral of d dot ds at lateral will be 0. And from bottom, of course, no charge and no flux density exists inside the conductor. So bottom will also go to 0. Isn't it? We'll only get one integral. That will be the top one. Top of d dot ds is equal to q. And which component of d? Of course, normal component of d. So what will be the total surface? Let's say it is del S, and we can write q also in terms of del S, that is surface into rho S, surface charge density, and del S. So del S will become, will cancel out each other, and we'll get normal component of flux density is equal to surface charge density. From this, of course, d is equal to epsilon naught E. From this, we can write this normal component of E will become rho s upon epsilon naught, that is surface charge density upon absolute permittivity. Fine? Simple? Okay. So, here are the results. So, total field, electric field will be E tan plus En. So, E tan is 0, En is rho s by epsilon. Epsilon naught for, of course, for your free space. So the at boundary the total electric field will become rho s upon epsilon naught, and d, total d will be rho s. Fine. So for the boundary between a conductor and a free space, we'll get these results. Fine. It is being asked in the final boundary condition. Okay, no, you have to establish all those things. Fine, no, आसान है, आ जाएगा सबसे. Okay. Now, perfect between two perfect dielectrics, same pattern will follow for two different dielectrics. Suppose we are taking a dielectric which is having a permittivity of epsilon 1 in the first region and a permittivity which is permittivity of epsilon 2 of region 2. Okay, in two different regime, what we will see, epsilon 1 will be epsilon naught into epsilon r1. That is, suppose मैंने दो डाइलेक्ट्रिक्स लिए. कौन से डाइलेक्ट्रिक्स दो हो सकते हैं? सपोज वैक्स एंड कॉटन. ओके, वैक्स एंड कॉटन, इन दोनों के अलग अलग परमिटिविटी होंगी, रिलेटिव परमिटिविटी. एब्सोल्यूट दोनों की सेम होंगी लेकिन रिलेटिव दोनों की अलग अलग होंगी. So suppose I am having epsilon 1, that will be epsilon naught into epsilon r1, where epsilon naught is absolute permittivity and epsilon r1 will be relative permittivity of the first dielectric. And the second will be epsilon 2, it will be equal to epsilon naught into epsilon r2, where epsilon naught is absolute permittivity, which will be same as the first one, which was epsilon naught, and epsilon r2 will be relative permittivity for this dielectric. How these electric field intensity and flux density will behave for these two dielectrics, that will be same. The process is entirely same what we had discussed. It's nothing, just a mathematical manipulation which I did for free space and conductor. Exactly the same thing. Okay, we'll get these results. That is, the tangential component of regime 1 of electric field intensity will become same to electric field E tan 2, the tangential component of electric field intensity for regime 2. Tangential component will be same. And for the normal component of D, that is flux density, will become for it will be same for both at regime 1 and regime 2. For example, these are the results which I have taken, and you just have to establish the results by the procedure which I did for these two. It is the same, entirely same. You just have to follow these two. E dot dl is equal to 0 and surface integral of d dot ds is equal to q, that Gauss law, and that thing. Okay, you have to follow these two formula. You have to make the height of the cylinder is 0. Okay, you will get that boundary. Fine. So your d tan and d tan 1 by d tan 2 will become equals to epsilon 1 upon epsilon 2. That is permittivity, the ratio of flux density for the tangential component of flux density is equal to the ratio of permittivities. Okay, and normal component, that is the reverse. Okay, हो जाएगा ये. Okay, so please do the mathematical part of it. Okay, if you are having any issues, do come to me in the doubt clearing session. We'll discuss. Okay, fine. So in the exercise part, yes, of course, yeah, you just do the mathematical calculation of the what I had discussed for this. So for today, that will be the exercise. That is the only thing which I'm expecting from this video and from you people. Okay, the only thing which you have to discuss, the only mathematical part of boundary conditions between two perfect dielectrics. Okay, I've already given the results. If not, you can note it down. Okay, that will be the exercise part. So thank you very much. That will be all for today's lecture. I'll see you all in my next lecture. Okay, thank you. Happy learning.